Hey everyone, Amelia here, and I have been meaning to get together a tutorial for you on how to do corner to corner. So I'm going to be putting together several clips on how to do the basic corner to corner stitch, how to get it started, how to increase and how to decrease, and how to change colors. Here's how to get a piece of corner to corner started.
To start your corner to corner piece, you're going to grab your yarn. Here I have a worsted weight and your hook. Mine is a H hook or 5mm, and you're going to create a slip knot and chain 6 stitches. Now this entire tutorial does assume that you already know how to do chain stitches, double crochet stitches, and you also need to know how to slip stitch, but that is it. Once you have your first 6 stitches, you skip the first 3, and in the other 3 stitches, you're going to put 1 double crochet stitch into each one. Each and every single block that you use to make a corner to corner piece has 3 chain stitches in it, and then your 3 double crochet stitches. So this is what you're going to be doing over and over again. That's the very first piece completely done.
Now let's continue to work on increasing our corner to corner piece.
From your first block of corner to corner, you're going to do 6 more chain stitches. The first block that you did is your entire first row, and so now we're going to do row 2. Again, you're going to skip the first 3 stitches and double crochet into the other 3 stitches. And then to connect them, all you do is turn your first block that you did, because you kind of have to get it in the right place for the first time, and then you're going to slip stitch right there. Pull it through and then connect it to the block you just did. That's it. So you're basically slip stitching into the chain stitches from your first block. From there, you're going to chain 3 and then do your 3 double crochet stitches around those chain stitches. And once you're done with that, you're done with your second row. So your first row has 1 block, and as you increase, your second row has 2 blocks, and your third row is going to have 3 blocks. So I'm going to go ahead and show that a little bit sped up. You start with 6 chains again, double crochet 3 after you skip the 3, and again, slip stitch into the points. So slip stitch, chain 3, double crochet 3, then you're going to slip stitch again, chain 3, and double crochet 3 to create your third block, since this is row 3.
Now I'm going to show you how to actually change colors with corner to corner.
Let's start with a new color for our 4th row. First, I'm going to cut the yarn, and then taking my new color, which I'm just going to use this other shade of blue, I go through the last loop that I had, and I'm going to add my new color to chain 1. And then I like to pull the old color down really good. From that point, you can continue as normally, and since I'm starting a new row, I am chaining 6 again. And here's what it looks like when it's done. Now I've skipped on to when I am in the middle of the next row, and I'm going to show you how to change colors here. Once again, I'm just going to cut my yarn and add another shade of blue, and this time I've stopped just before my slip stitch, because your slip stitch is where you add a new color. You can put your hook in, add the new color, and draw it through to join the 2 different blocks, or the 2 different squares in your corner to corner. And then at that point, you'll continue on by chaining 3. And now I'm just going to continue on with my double crochets. Now you see that piece of yarn kind of peeking out, the tail? It'll do that sometimes, but we can pull it really nice and tight and finish it off well once we get to the end of our work. There can be lots and lots of color changes in corner to corner, which is why I recommend you start with something that doesn't have too many.
And finally, this is how you start to decrease your corner to corner piece so that you can start to finish it off.
Now we're going to start by decreasing so that we make a nice rectangular shape. And I'm going to add my first color blue back in so that I can show you this and it'll show up really well in a new color. So you turn to start your new row, but instead of chaining 6, you're going to start creating that nice straight edge by slip stitching up the side of your work. So that means I'm going to go into the tops of these stitches and slip stitch 1, 2, and 3. This puts me level with where the next block is going to go. And from there, you are just going to chain 3 and start doing your double crochet stitches again. And that sets you up to do the rest of this row just the exact same way that you've been doing it. There's that row completed. So I'm going to turn the work, and again, you're going to slip stitch up the side of this block. Just doing the blocks that are in between the spaces from your previous row and not adding another one is what starts to decrease your work. There's the chain stitches. And again, with the 3 double crochets. All right, you can already start to see the flat edge forming on both of those sides. So I'm just going to continue doing a few more rows and then we'll be done. Once you start to decrease, it gets faster very quickly. And now here is the very last piece. This is technically the last row, and you're going to slip stitch up the side one more time. And we're creating one last block that's going to fill in that space that almost looks like a missing puzzle piece in the corner. So you chain 3 again, do your last 3 double crochet pieces, and you still finish with a slip stitch. And you're all done. At that point, you can clip off your yarn and you're done.
Once you're done with your corner to corner piece, you need to deal with all of the ends that are left over from changing colors. So here's how you do that.
For corner to corner pieces, I really like to start by tying simple knots with the ends that are all paired up from where you did color changes. So whenever there's 2 ends together in one place, I go around and do that. Or if there's one, I might just tie a simple knot all by itself. And then you can use your hook to weave in ends, but I like to use a tapestry needle. This is a sewing type of needle that has a blunt end and a bigger tip that can fit the yarn in there. So just one by one, you thread your ends of yarn, weave them in and out of your work. And when you're done, you can just trim the end. And when you're all done, this is what it should look like. Congrats on creating your first piece.